lovely lot, and a big warm welcome / welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are all doing well, keeping safe, all of that lovely stuff. So today's video we have another one about placement, and today's video is my top 5 tips for placement as a whole. So I've done my top 10 tips for getting ready for placement, and this is my top 5 tips just for the whole placement experience as a student midwife. But to be honest, this pretty much coincides with student nursing, student whatever, when you're on a medical placement. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So number 1, and probably the biggest tip that I can give you, is to just say yes. Now, all the time you will have your supervisor ask you, do you want to do this? And I know in your head it's that fight or flight, and you just want to say no, 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 no. But it is completely normal to feel shit scared, okay? But just getting involved, just saying yes, that is how you learn. And trust me, it gets easier and easier. I'm not saying that once you say yes, every time you're going to be like, oh my God, yeah, I want to do that. It's going to take a while to build up your confidence. But trust me, the time to give things a go and the time to possibly make mistakes, I'm not saying you're going to, is when you are training, when you are under direct supervision of your supervisor. They're always going to be there. They're not going to let you do anything that is going to hurt your service users that you're working with, but just getting involved, and they will really like it as well, obviously seeing you as a student to be proactive. And yeah, so just say yes and just get involved. Even if your fight or flight response is telling you to run a mile, trust me, it will pay off in the long run. Next one is, don't be scared of the doctors or obstetricians in the case of midwifery. So I know that they seem sometimes big and scary, and this is what I felt. And yeah, some of them may be a little bit scary, but you have to remember that these people have so much knowledge, and sometimes all you have to do is ask. I've met some absolutely amazing obstetricians that have really supported me in my training, that have answered questions, that have just been so nice to me. They've let me come on ward rounds, they've let me come in on consultations with the women and families. So yeah, don't be scared of the obstetricians or the doctors. They have so much knowledge, and don't forget to use that knowledge. So number 3 is to be on time for handover. So for me, handover starts at 8, and with COVID and things we have to get changed and that first, so make sure that you're just on time. Plan time for your travel. You don't want to be late, because missing handover is really not great, because that gives you all the information you need to know about all the service users, or all the women for our case. It gives you everything that you kind of need to know to provide the individualized care that they need. So make sure that you set off with enough time to allow you to get changed, to walk up to the ward, and not be in a mad rush doing it, because the last thing you want is to arrive at handover flustered and out of breath, because you're probably not going to take a lot in. So yeah, that's my next tip, is to allow yourself enough time that you're not rushing, but make sure that you are on time for handover. Number 4 is a very straightforward one, and it's to take your break. So in our shift we get a 30-minute break, and we also are allowed an hour's learning time where we can go and study something or just work with our practice documentation. Now you need to remember that you are supernumerary and you're not getting paid for being there, so make sure that you do take your breaks. You are entitled to it. I know sometimes that you are super busy, but don't be afraid to say, I haven't had my break yet, am I okay to go? Because it is so important that you look after yourself, otherwise you're just going to burn yourself out. And following on from that, make sure that you take regular breaks to go to the toilet and have something to drink. Again, you are supernumerary, you are entitled to go and have a drink or go to use the toilet. Just say, oh, I'm just popping off to have a quick drink, and they're absolutely fine with it. I've not had a single problem. You have to stay hydrated, otherwise you're going to get a banging headache, you're going to be absolutely exhausted, and you're just going to dehydrate yourself, which is not what you want on a 12.5-hour shift. And last but not least is to speak up if something isn't right. So if you see something in placement that you don't think is right, or if you get talked to or treated in a way that you don't think is right or appropriate, then don't be scared to speak up, because the truth is other people will have probably noticed that as well and haven't spoken up, and nothing is going to happen from it if you don't speak up. You know, if it upsets you, if it makes you feel some kind of way, then it's best just to speak up about it, otherwise nothing's going to change. Lecturers, your placement facilitators in placement, everyone's understanding, everybody will listen, and it just takes a 5-minute chat just to get it out and express your concerns. Now, if somebody speaks to you in a way that you don't like or you don't think is appropriate, if you have the confidence, do just say, I'm sorry, I don't really like the way that you spoke to me, it made me feel, and tell them how it made you feel. Now, one of my bestest friends taught me this trick, and it is not always easy, no, but sometimes you do have to stick up for yourself, otherwise it might keep happening. Now, it can sometimes happen with people higher up, but that's not always the case. It can happen with people of all different sectors in healthcare, or even your service users, but that does not mean that it is okay. No matter what band, no matter what their job title is, it doesn't make it okay. So just make sure that you stand up for yourself, and anything that happens that you don't agree with, make sure you speak up about it. So there we are, those are my top 5 tips for placement and your placement experience as a whole. If you thought this video was helpful, you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment below, let me know any future videos you guys want to see, let me know if you're on placement right now, or just let me know how you found these tips. I would love to hear from you guys. And last but certainly not least, if you are not already, please don't forget to click on that subscribe button and click on the little bell next to it, which will notify you whenever I upload my videos. So on that note, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a lovely morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you are watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys!